What's up, Gunpla modelers? This is Stryderprime, and today I'm starting a new series of videos, probably another limited series, which I would like to call Tool Time. Yeah, it doesn't sound right, Tool Time with Stryderprime, but hey, it rhymed. But yeah, this is a segment that I wanted to try for a while. Basically talking about the tools that we use when building model kits, and it doesn't matter if it's for Gundam building. It could be for planes, for cars, for tanks, anything that we use to make the tools that we use and the equipment that we use to make our model kits. Now, obviously, when we build model kits, we would like to get the best tools possible, best paints possible, best equipment possible. But sometimes it makes it difficult for us to get it because the products are a little too expensive. And for us model builders on the budget, you have to question yourself, saying, do I really need to buy this? Is this what I require for me to build this kit? It is something that bothers everybody. It bothers me all the time. It's like, oh, what am I doing? But I wanted to touch on some parts or some things that I could use that will allow me to build a kit, or to help me out. Now, we're going to begin with this little product that I purchased a long time ago called Mr. Paint Station. I got this one of 4. It was a 4-pack where you could pretty much take your part holder, put it on like this so it can dry. Neat, isn't it? However, sometimes we have a lot of parts. Parts can be up to maybe 20 parts. It could be up to 100 parts. And I don't have a lot of this. And even though there's a lot of holes here, it depends on the spacing, on where you put it. Now, I have a foam-like brick type thing. Let me show you. I have 2. One I threw away because it began to fall apart on me. Here's one of them, where I can put it on like that and I can hold up my kits. But I kind of like this one. Is a little bit more organized, and this one you have to jab it in, and then when you pull it out you have to pull it out the whole thing, and it is a bit unwieldy. So I'm going to create or fashion a new paint station, and I'm going to use this. This was the honeycomb filter that came with my Mr. Superbooth, which I just recently replaced with a new one. Actually, I got the other one on a sale that I saw, and I said, you know what? This can be perfect for me to put my alligator clips on. However, there is a bit of a problem. It's too big. One, it's also in a curved type thing, as you can see. And the holes are too big, way too big. Some of them are a little smaller because of the concentration of paint, which is good. But I have too many of these are long, and they're just going to be wobbling about. And plus, if I take it up and, if I have to move it around, guess what? That comes up like that. Not a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in 2. Right down the middle, and I'm going to use some wood glue. It's like Elmer's glue, same thing. And then paint the edges, and then I'm going to get cardboard, and I'm going to, well, at first what I'm going to do is create a setup where I'll cut this in 2, put this one on top of this, align it right, and then cover it around with Elmer's glue, and then put regular cardboard on it, so it's nice and rigid, and it's a lot thicker, so that way I can put this and then it'll stay into place and will not wobble around. Then it'll be easy for me to transport. Let's see how long this is. Alright, so this is a good 19 inches, so we're talking about 19 inches, so we're talking about 9.5 inches. Let's just double check that. So 19 And then we know that 9 times 9 is 18, so it will be 9.5 inches. There it is, right there. Alright, so let me get a ruler and let me get something to cut, and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, using one of my kitchen knives, I cut it into 2 after making sure that the it was exact length, or excuse me, the length, the exact width of it. And right now I cut it and I bent it, and as you see here it is. Kind of looks a little ugly, of course, but here's the concept, of course. So now it's there, and I don't have to worry about it, moving about. So I have a lot of space. I have a lot for, a lot of parts here, a lot of kits. Obviously I have a lot of that, so I was going to separate this and then make 2 stations, but I think I'm just going to use 1 for now. Right now I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to get the cardboard and then measure it. So give me a few moments. Alright, so I took these cardboard strips that I cut, and I'm going to put them on like so. So that way it's nice and it covers up the edges, makes it a little bit more presentable, of course. Let me just do a fold from here. So it looks like that. And then this will bend there. So I'll bend here. There we go. Do like that. So that side goes like that. Let me do the other one. I'm going to overlap it, of course. It doesn't have to be, perfect. Just usable, and, well, usable to the point where I can put my parts on, and presentable where, when I show it on camera, it doesn't look that bad. And again, this is something that you guys can do on your own if you have something like this. If you have a filter like this of some sort. Alright, there we go. It's a little lifted up there, but that's no big deal. So I'm gonna do this side first because the flat side's here, so it's a little easier for me to do. Oh no, I did it that way. Fair enough. Fair enough. If I did it that way, I did it that way. No, this way. Sorry. So we're going to begin with some wood glue by Elmer's. I'll put a little bit here. This glue was used on something else, not Gundam related, of course. But there's a little bit of leftover glue on it. Yep, there it is. And by the way, this is a non-toxic glue, so for you kids out there, and those who like home projects, you must be drooling over this now. Alright, so I got one down. Put it in like so. Come around here. I'm going to keep it standing up, that way I'll allow the weight of this to go down. And then on the top here, put a little bit here. And I think I'll do a little bit here just in case. It's a nice and messy goop. I'll just bring it up like so, and then flatten it down like so. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna do the other one. Give me a minute, and then we'll see what it looks like once it dries. Okay, it's nice and dry. somewhat, but it's overall okay. But right now I just cut this board so I can put it under here. Let me apply some glue. Yeah, there we go. So we'll drop there, close that up, and use this side for now, but I'm actually going to do this with my finger to spread it out a bit. There we go. And then just going to align it up properly. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be perfectly stuck onto that. And I'll put some weighty things on it to keep it on top of things. Here, Batman, be useful. You are a bit heavy. And is there anything else I have on here? Oh yeah, I have that. Okay, so I'm going to let it dry a bit. Then I'm going to cut the sides, the edges, so it'll even out. Let me just wash my finger. And then I'm going to do one last thing, and that is this. Painted white. There it is. Wait until it dried, of course, and then I spray painted using Krylon paint. As a matter of fact, I'm using the same Krylon white that I used to make my my Master Grade Unicorn Gundam full armored kit a couple of years ago, and this, you know, I was using Krylon paint to paint that kit, and I thought, oh my god, why did I use that? But I had a little bit left over, and I applied it onto this, so it's nice and sturdy and strong. It's now dry. This thing's a little loose, but that doesn't bother me any which way. The whole purpose, of course, of doing this is so I can put my little guys in like this. Some holes will fall down, some will not. There we go. But I can align it up properly, and it stays into place. I don't have to worry about, you know, yanking it off. There you go. Perfect. Obviously, I'll still use the little guy for like smaller parts, quick parts, maybe parts that are different colors or different type of paints, so it doesn't interrupt this. But for this, came out really cool. I guess for those of you who do have, alright, there is a stipulation here. There is kind of like a problem. I'm doing this because I had this old filter that was, you know, already all used up and all that stuff, and I got a new one. If you have a filter like this, and you from the Mr. Superbooth line, and you're about to throw away this, don't throw away it. Just convert it into a part stand, so that way you can have your parts drying in a nice evenly fashion. And this one came out pretty good, so something to think about for those of you who are, you know, are on the budget, money is tight, and you cannot afford a product like this being shipped from Japan all the way over here. Or maybe there's another way of doing this, and you guys can show me. You know, there are a lot of people who do customized works of their own tools, so they could do their job with building kits. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I have here. Hopefully it gives you some ideas on making your own tools and techniques. And what can I say but stay tuned for more tool time videos coming soon. You guys all have a great day.